Hello and welcome. In this video series, I will teach you the Python language assuming that you are a complete beginner. I will start from the basics and gradually move to more advanced concepts. And along the way, we will also do some projects together. Alright? So without further delay, let us start learning Python. The first thing that we need is a place to write and execute our programs. And since you are a beginner, I will teach you to use an online compiler in the first few videos. Later on, we will install the necessary softwares. Alright? So what I want you to do is go to google.com and search online Python compiler. And when you do so, you will get a lot of results like this. You can click on any of the websites and start writing the codes. Okay? For demonstration, I will use the website by one compiler. Alright? Now, let us start with our first program. In the first program, what I want to do is print this out. Or in other words, I want to get this as output. How do I do it? To get something as output or to print something onto the screen, we need to use print function. Now, what is a function? What does it do? All these things will be explained when it matters. Right now, I do not want to confuse you by explaining everything. Alright? Just know that print is a function, and to print something onto the screen or to get something as output, we use the print function. Okay? The syntax of print function is print along with two brackets. Alright? This is the syntax of print function. And what you want as output, is what should go in between double quotes inside the brackets. So I want my first program as the output, and so it must be written in between double quotes inside the brackets. Okay, so now when I run it, I will get my first program as the output. Okay, now let me change this to my name is Manju, and when I run it, I get my name is Manju as output. Alright, it is as simple as this. Next, what I want to do is get this as output. I want to print this out. How do I do it? All I have to do is type whatever I want as output exactly the way I want it in between double quotes inside the brackets. So I want 100/50 as output, and so I have typed it here. Now when I run it, I get 100/50 as the output. Okay. Now let me delete the quotes and run the program and see what I get. I get 2.0 as the output. Why is that? What has happened here? What has happened is Python has considered this as an expression and it has evaluated it. If you print something without the double quotes and if it is an expression, then Python will evaluate the expression and give you the result. And that is what has happened here. 100/50 is 100 divided by 50. The slash symbol stands for division. So 100 divided by 50 is 2, and that is our result. Okay. So in the next slide, I will say 100 plus 50, and when I run it, you can see I get 2.0 and 150 as the output. This is the output of this. This is the output of this. Okay. In the next line, I will say print 100 minus 50. Now when I run it, I have 100 minus 50 as the result because it is in between double quotes. Okay. Next, I will say print 100 star 50, and when I run it, I get 5000 as result. The star symbol stands for multiplication. Okay, we do not use X for multiplication, we use star. All right. Now I will say print 105 and percentage symbol 50. Okay, let me run this and you can see I get 5. If we use percentage symbol, we will get the remainder of the division. Okay, the remainder of 105 divided by 50 is 5, and so is the result. All right, let me delete this and let me have this. I will say print and 105 2 slashes and 50. Now when I run this, I will get 2 as the result. 5 is the result of first line, 2 is the result of this. If you want to get the quotient, then you need to use 2 slashes. Okay, if you use 2 forward slashes, then you will get the quotient of the division. If you use percentage symbol, you will get the remainder of the division. Okay, if you use single forward slash, then it is plain division. All right, 105 divided by 50 is 2.1. Okay, now let me delete this. I will say print 2 star 3 and I will run it. The result is 6, right? 2 multiplied by 3 is 6. In the next line, I will say print 2 stars and 3, and when I run it, I get 8. This is because double stars stands for power. So this is 2 to the power of 3, or in other words 2 cubed. 2 to the power of 3 is 8, and so is our result. Okay, single star for multiplication, 2 stars for exponent. Okay, next, what I want to do is get this as output. I want my in first line, first in second line, program in third line. How do we do it? We can achieve it in multiple ways and I will show you those. First way is by having my in first line, first in second line and program in third line. When I run it, I get the result as I want it. This is one way, which is not a good way to write the codes. So let us go to the second way, which is by using /n. Alright. So here in the print function, I have my first program written out in between double quotes, right? When I run this, I get my first program in the same line. Now what I want to do is have first in the next line, and so I will use the /n. Alright. The /n inserts a new line. It is similar to hitting the enter key on the keyboard. Okay. So now when I run this, I get my in the first line and first program in the second line. I want program in the third line, right? And so I will have to type /n right before the program. And now when I run this, I get my in the first line, first in the second line and program in the third line. Okay. So this is one more way to achieve the result that we want. Alright. Next, the third way. Third way is by using triple quotes. Okay. So I have 3 quotes in the beginning and I will type exactly how I want it inside the triple quotes. Okay. So 3 quotes in the beginning, 3 quotes at the end, and in between quotes I have placed the words exactly how I want them. My in first line, first in second line, program in third line. And now when I run it, I get the result as I want it. Okay. So this is the third way to achieve the result. Alright. Now, I have something to say about the quotes. We can use double quotes to print something onto the screen, or we can use single quotes too. When I run it, I get hello. Okay, here we have used double quotes, here single quotes. And also we can use triple quotes too to get the result. Okay, so all do the same thing. But remember not to mix the quotes, meaning don't start with double quotes and end with single. When you try to run it, you'll get an error. Okay. Now, proceeding further, I want to print this out. Okay. I want to have this as output. How do I do it? It is easy. What I want as output is what must be written inside the quotes, correct? So it's raining is in between the quotes, and when I run it, I get it's raining as the result. Now let me use single quotes instead of double quotes. And now when I run it, I get an error like this. Why is this? This is because Python considers this as the starting quote and this as the ending quote. And you know that Python prints out the data between quotes as it is. So it considers this as something to be printed out. But it doesn't know what to do with this. This is considered as the starting. This is considered as the ending. It doesn't know what to do with this, and so we get an error like this. To overcome this, what we need to do is have a slash before this quote. Okay, so when I run it now, I get it's raining as the result. What does this slash do? This slash tells Python to treat this quote as a normal quote and not as the ending quote. Okay, it tells Python to treat this quote as normal quote, and when that is done, this will be considered as the starting quote, this will be considered as the ending quote, and whatever is in between the quotes will be printed out as it is. Okay, so this is one thing to remember. Now, I told you that if you have an expression in print function, then Python will evaluate it and give the result, right? Now, if we have words written out without quotes, and if we run it, we will get an error like this. This is because this is not an expression, but this is a string. What is a string? I'll explain it in the next video. Okay? Only if it is an expression and if it is not wrapped between quotes, it will be evaluated. Otherwise, it has to be in quotes to be printed as it is. So, hello must be typed in between quotes to be printed out as it is. Alright? Yes. So this is about using the print function to print data onto the screen. Alright? Yes. So let us end the video right here. What I want you to do is go ahead and practice the things that I have taught in this video. Alright? In the next video, we will learn about variables. Okay? See you there.